Hey everybody, it's Mark, DoctorDeadwax, and it's time for another video. This is going to be Out of the Inbox 10, Founder's Breakfast Stout. I think this is the best beer in the world, in my opinion. It's the beer I enjoy the most, and I think they do the best job with. Anyway, so Out of the Inbox, this is where I talk about records that I've taken out of my inbox, cleaned, and spun. Except in a complete and unusual twist, this one is entirely new records. I know, who the hell ever thought I would have 5 new records to talk about, but I actually do. And a little bit of a can update too. So everything here is brand new. When I buy records brand new, I play them once and then I clean them. So anyway, first is can. I bought Future Days. I talked about this in the can video, and it was kind of crappy, and it had a lot of pressing flaws. So I got another copy of it, and it's great. It has a little spot at the end of side 1, just before the lead-out groove at the very end of the music, where it ticks like 6 times. I mean, that's the entire complaint with this record. So, you know, there really is no complaint at that point. Awesome music. I've listened to all the can I got. I got 6 or 7 albums. I've listened to it all several times now. Tagomago, which I wasn't a big fan of initially, didn't, you know what I mean? The more I've listened to that, the more it's just kind of gelled. It's pretty funky, freaky, far out, mindfuck of a record. It's great. But if I'd heard this 25 years ago, I would have loved it. Like, this is it's progressive, it's electronic, it's excellent music. If I was to give someone a gateway album into can, this would be it. This is a great record, so I can't recommend that enough. And I have to say, all of the can reissues that I've got, I've been really happy with overall. I mean, the Tagomago had a bit of an issue, and I replaced that, and the Future Days was quite problematic, and I replaced that, and both of the replacements are great. So cheers, everybody. Like I said, I can't compare them to originals. I don't know how compressed they are in comparison, but they're highly listenable. They have scale. You can turn them up. They don't fall apart when you turn them up kind of loud. And I mean, in the States, these things, I've seen them selling for like $14 online. It's unheard of. Here, they're like 35 bucks. So now that was the good, now the bad, and next and after that will be the awesome and the dead. Here's the bad. This is Tragically Hip's Fully Completely. This is the best, or tied for the best album from this band. Tragically Hip are just the best Canadian rock band of the past 25 years. A fun rock band, a party rock band. You know, they're not Rush or anything like that. And they've released this on vinyl, and it's 400 bucks. Only West German, 1991 or 92 originally. I don't have a copy of that. I have a copy of the 3 albums before this, and I have a copy of the next album, which is even harder to get, Day for Night. And it's a tie-up between whether Fully Completely or Day for Night are their best albums, but they're both incredibly awesome. For me, they're both their best album. It depends on the mood I'm in. This pressing is an abomination. This was mastered at True Tone Mastering in New York City, and the mastering job on this is horrendous. I played this synced up with the FLAC I have of the record, and played them back, flipping back and forth between them, and this is just terrible. It has none of the life of the CD, the original digital recording. They've managed to make it bass anemic and bass bloaty. It's almost like they took the bass dial and just cranked it up and down. So, and I don't know. So the mastering is horrendous. It's, you know, anyway, here's the record. It's got the vanity label. Comes in a paper inner sleeve. Like, how cheap can you get there? Not even lined. And it's crap. The record is also crap. The actual whatever the hell company pressed this record did like an abysmal job. I don't know if I can make this visible, but the surface of the record is covered in dimples. For example, there's one. Yeah, you can see it there. It's on like the 4th track. So this side of this record has like 9 dimples. Those are caused by shit not being done right at the pressing plant. They're caused by stuff not being clean. Because the music tracks through them and it bumps. It goes boom, boom. The record's also warped, which is just garbage. And it, because of the warp, it has a bump in it as well. Now these were dirt cheap for me. Amazon had these on for like $11, $10.46. I bought 3 of them because I'd heard that they were problematic. One of the forums I'm on, there's got to be 100 guys who bought this, that they're absolute and utter shit. And so I bought 3 of them for $30 to get the free shipping threshold. All 3 of them are garbage. This is the best one. It's listenable, but why would I listen to it when the CD's better? So that's the bad, and that's really bad and really disappointing. And you know, oh well. I wish I had the original pressing to compare it to. The 2 music on vinyl pressings. This is Universal's. I don't know, shitstorm pressing. This is going to be a long video, by the way. I'm on the first record, and we're 8 minutes in. But music on vinyl did Road Apples and Up to Here, and people say that they're fantastic. I don't know if they're as good as the originals, which I have. I haven't pursued them because they were like $45. People thought it was going to be great that this one was going to be cheaper, but cheap garbage is just money flushed down a toilet. So now the awesome. First of the awesome is this. This is Tori Amos, Unrepentant Geraldines. This is a 2-record set. It's made in Germany. It's cut by Miles Showell at Abbey Road in London, and it's done really well. Let me see if I can find. I don't know if I can get this to show. No, I can't. Totally lost my ability to get that to show. But anyways, in the Deadwax it says Abbey Road Miles. And it's really well mastered. This record sounds really good, and the pressing is excellent. And the music's really good too. I know a lot of people have been kind of down on Tori over the past few years and the past few albums, saying they're not quite up to par with her earlier work. And I don't think this necessarily touches some of the, say, the first 4 or 5 records, but this is really good, and it comes on 2 records. It comes with picture inner sleeves, two records. I don't know. The music's good, the pressing's good, the mastering's good. I don't know, this is a good record. I really enjoyed this. I'm a fan of hers. She's not like a crazy obsessive fan like a lot of people are about her, but I respect her work, and the price was right on that, so I bought it. More absolute fucking awesome is this is mind-blowing. This is Dead Can Dance in concert. Paul Baraka P. Dub sent me this, and fuck. I've been really not great lately, and shit's going on. Have whiplash. It's getting a little bit better. I've finally been playing records on a regular basis the past few days, and I've played all of the stuff that I'm showing you. And when I opened this and spun this the other night, my mind was just totally blown. So it comes in a nice box, and it has three records, and they're just in simple sleeves, but they're quality inner sleeves. Like they're not lined, but they're heavy stock, and they're actually clean. The one thing I'd say about the Unrepentant Geraldines is the paper inside is really dusty and filthy, but this is really nice and clean. And this is mastered by Optimal Media in Germany. And I'm not quite sure where this is made, but it's got to be somewhere in Europe. And these are the labels. And this is mastered phenomenally. It's really well recorded. The mastering's great. The pressing is great. If there's one spot on these three records where the record goes tick, like you couldn't ask for more from a record. And three records, just great music and huge soundscape. Tons of atmosphere in the recording. They really captured the live show well. They did a great job. Also has a little bit of foam in it to soften the moving around. And it has these three poster sheets. This one has the cover picture and the set list. And this one has what's his name and the dates of the tour. And this one has what's her name and the rest of the musicians on the show. And it comes with a download card. I don't know if this covers FLAC. This is my big beef with download cards, but it covers a download card. And I don't know, I'm kind of obsessive. Does everybody else cut these out and save these? I still have these from records I bought in high school. But I can't say enough about this record and the quality of the pressing and everything. I can't thank you enough, Paul. This is just another overly generous gift. I don't know what to say, but thank you. And musically, this is great. I have one Dead Can Dance record. My wife heard this. She was like, yeah, I want that. I'm like, oh God. Anyway. I have to get some, that's the one thing I'm not a fan of with box sets is you pack everything away into the box and, it's not as easily accessible as a record. So with stuff in box sets, I get those kind of white or black plain record sleeves that are cardboard, and I put the record in them and I label it, and then I can file that away and I put the box away somewhere safe so the stuff's readily accessible. So that was the good, the bad, the awesome, and now the dead. And first up here, this is the Grateful Dead one from the vault. This was sent to me by Roger Coleman, and just another incredibly generous gift. So this is a live date from the Grateful Dead. So these are quality inner sleeves, at least they're paper, and then they're plastic lined. This is the Grateful Dead, one from the vault. This is put out by, I'm not sure if I can remember who it is, but it's FDR. Yeah, that doesn't really matter. But they licensed this record from, or the tapes from the Grateful Dead people, and they did a really good job with this. This is recorded August 13th, 1975. and it was broadcast on FM radio at the time, so it was readily available in bootleg form for years. But when this was first released in maybe 91, I think it came out on CD and it came out on vinyl actually in Europe, but those are like $100.50. I'd actually had a friend ask me to find him a copy of that years ago that he subsequently found for himself, but I then was kind of interested in it and been looking for and trying to find a copy of that ever since. And the one from the Vault series, what delineates them from something else is that these are multi-track recordings that the Dead made that are then mixed down for the records. So, and it's kind of interesting if you read online about the multi-track stuff. There's another one from the Vault where they had to use all kinds of delay and they synced everything. There was all kinds of issues with the way it was recorded because the people who did it didn't do it right, and they synced it all to Phil Lash's tape, and then anyways, this is really good. This is the first time Blues for Allah was recorded live in its entirety, and as I'd stated recently, which I think is the reason why Roger actually sent me this, was I got Blues for Allah. You know, I've known of the Dead for years. I had a friend 20 years ago who was a huge Dead fan, and all I ever heard when I was with him was Dick's Picks and just the hundreds of boots that he made himself at that show. So it kind of was overwhelming, and I never really got into them, but lately I've been exploring the studio material, and that's kind of making the rest of the material more interesting to me. I always thought they were good. It's just I wasn't as fascinated or interested in them as I am now. And anyways, I love Blues for Allah. I thought that was an incredibly powerful record. And so Roger sent me this, and I love it. And another example of it's a really good quality pressing. It's you know, it's digital source, I believe, but or it's anyways, it's great. It's well done. It's not compressed, and it's highly listenable. And then finally, the last Dead, and the last thing I'm going to show is this. This is Dick's Picks, Volume 5, and this is Oakland Auditorium, December, Boxing Day, 1979. So Dick's Picks are different from the Vault series in that they're made from 2-track recordings that the Dead made of concerts as opposed to multi-track recordings. So there's not a lot of mixing and stuff that can go on with the 2-track stuff. They can be tweaked a little and cleaned up. And what's interesting with this one is it comes in like these covers that are like replicas of the Ampex reel-to-reel tapes that it was recorded on. And they have, like, even the labels are they look like reel-to-reel tapes, and they have Dick's Picks. And this has got WGNRP in the Deadwax, and that stands for West Garland at Nashville Record Productions. So I think that might be connected to United in Nashville. I'm not entirely certain what the story is on that there. But and so all the covers are different with notes and stuff from the reel-to-reel tapes that the show was recorded on. And anyway, and this is 5 records. Oh, and you know, I cut this out and kept it too, so still doing that. And this is really well done. I mean, there's a couple spots where you could hear a little bit of distortion from the original recording, but overall, really good. 5 records. I had a couple spots where I had a few sticks in the records, but I just put my finger on the record and kind of drew whatever dirt was in the groove out. So the records could have been a little cleaner, but the sticks were just dirt. They weren't actual flaws in the pressing. And I don't know. I got that at a really good price. That's the only reason why I bought it. And I highly recommend it. It's another example of like half decent quality to excellent quality modern vinyl, which is something, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of people, 250 videos in, you haven't really heard me say a lot. So that was Dick's Picks Volume 5, one from the vault. I can recommend that. This is mind-blowing. This is by far of everything I've shown today the best sounding thing of them all. And I don't know, I love it musically. This is excellent, and you can pick this up cheap. I did. This is an absolute and utter travesty. You know, the packaging is really pretty. For $10, maybe it's worth that. But Universal, the Hip, they should all be embarrassed by what they put out. And here's an example of, you know, what this could have been. This is a decently priced reissue of music that fans are ravenous for. So that was Out of the Inbox 10. I don't know how long that was. 20 minutes. Anyway, hope you're all well. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day. Keep the record spinning. Cheers.